Good evening, everyone. I hope this is working. This is my new laptop, and I have no idea whether this is functioning. So let's see. I see it's a little slow, like I see myself in slow motion. So let's see if this is working. This is not, I'm not fully using this laptop yet. I just really wanted to see, I just wanted to check the camera, see how it works. So let's see. Okay, so what I want to talk to you about today, and I know it's late. I know it's late. It's been a crazy day. So what I wanted to talk to you about today is that it's December, end of the month, almost end of the year, and everywhere I've seen memes popping up about 2018 having been a really rough year. And there are all kinds of reasons or reasonings, I would say, I have to say, about that. Like astrologically, things have been going on. You have this constant meme saying, what was it? Like you have the butterfly meme, like 2016 you start as the caterpillar, and 2018 you become the butterfly. So that's when you like come into being, like you spread your wings and you go. And for me, that was definitely the case. That's what I feel like. So it's really fun because all these memes, like the meme I see on Facebook like all the time now is the one that goes like at the beginning of 2018. Oh, Sandra dear, you're here. Does my sound work? Because if it does, then I'm cool. But I have no idea whether my microphone is working. So if you could just let me know. I don't know if I can see the comments actually. It's always nice getting used to a new laptop. I bought an Asus ZenBook, by the way. Oh yes, it's working. Perfect. Thank you, dear. So the meme that keeps popping up on Facebook for me is the one that goes, so at the start of 2018, I was like, bring it on 2018, I've got this. And then, so that's like the start of the meme, and the meme goes on. It's like 2019, you're like, please don't hurt me, be nice, take it easy. Because for a lot of people, 2018 has been the year that a lot of things has happened. And for me, everybody who knows me closely knows that this is the case as well. So I wanted to take a minute, and this of course goes back to the stuff I've been talking about in the past weeks, that I work too much, I don't take the time to celebrate. So what I did just now is I wrote down this list. It's here, and I called it Jump, because I'm often joking these days that I have no idea. Like I cannot even remember what my comfort zone looks like. About this time last year, I just decided that I had enough and that I had to change things, that I had to shake things up. And of course, like on a personal level, this meant that eventually I ended up leaving my relationship, and we've been together. Yeah, Sandra, same. Like it's a lot of leaping. Yeah, it's been crazy. But that's the thing with this meme, is that I am so grateful for this year. Like it was brutal. It's still brutal. Like every few days, I have this new old pattern that pops up, and I'm like, something's going on there. I need to work on this. I'm still like somehow I'm still like, I'm my own worst enemy. So somehow I'm still creating obstacles for myself, and that just keeps going on, and it just keeps going. But I'm growing. Like I just looked through my schedule, like my so I have a passion planner, so it's like a schedule and a journal in one. And just halfway through the year, it was like I'm growing. So like I'm growing. So it was brutal, but I'm growing. So that's what I wanted to talk about, Lisa. As I said, like for me, the growth meant saying goodbye to. Thank you for all the love. Was saying goodbye to my relationship, which I'd been in for 12 and a half years at the time that I decided to end it. And of course, I didn't wake up one day and I just decided to end it. Like there was a much longer process before I was able to do that. But personally as well, as some of you know, is I'm in less than 3 months, I'm moving to another country, and I don't know how long I'll be there and whether it's going to be fun. But I've always wanted to live in another country. I've always wanted to travel, and now I'm free to do so. I still have my day job. Or like I've always had my business end up in a part-time job next to it. It'll end in February, and I bought the one-way ticket. I'm just going. I'm just doing it, and I can see. So that's another thing. It's like that's not even close to my comfort zone. So that's on a personal level. I traveled a lot more this year. Like I've been to London twice. I've been to Manchester. I've been to Cyprus. So I've been I'm moving to Cyprus, but I've been there in June. I've been there last November as well. Not last November, but 2017. So I've traveled a lot more, which is also something I always wanted to do, and I just kept telling myself that I couldn't afford it, that it was a waste of money, that I had to think of the future, etc. Well, you might not only live once, but this life you only live once, so just live it. Or so that was my idea, is like just live it, just do the things, like have the experiences, have the fun. So I tried to do more of that. So that's personally for me. But I also, of course, I made this list, and I actually started doing that this year, like keeping track of the good things that were happening. Because as I said, like my celebrating is a thing for me. Because like I achieve something, I just move on, and I really want to stop doing that. Like I really want to take a pause. Like for somebody who meditates first thing in the morning, that I cannot take a pause and breathe and feel the gratitude for having achieved something. I think that's pretty interesting. That I can do it in the morning, like I can do that for myself, but I cannot do it during the day. Like when it comes to my work, I cannot take those little minutes, just a few minutes to just really feel it, to do that. So I have my list. I'm gonna walk you through the list, and it's gonna be chaotic as ever, because that's also something that I'm trying to embrace about myself, that I'm not the most organized person. And I've been hearing that the more disorganized I am, the more authentic I sound. So let's just go with it. Okay, so at the very beginning of the year, and it was completely random for me and a complete surprise, I was asked by this company, and I know I already knew the owner of the company. I was asked to become their copywriter and ghostwriter. So I got like an apprenticeship going on, like they were going to teach me. And of course that's great, because that just means I can expand my services. They also said, like, we'll teach you, and if you want to start doing that yourself, you can just add it to your website and just provide those services. So I haven't put it on my website yet, because well, life's been a little crazy. But I'll get to that. So that's one of the two things, two skills that I've been learning this year, like copywriter and ghostwriter. And that was way out of my comfort zone, because I'd never done that before. And here's this guy just telling me, I think you can do it. So it's also like I'm doing the Pippi Longstocking thing more. Like I've never done that before, but so I think I can do that. And that was definitely this, like I was like, why are you asking me this? I cannot do that. Like imposter syndrome is such a thing for me. And he was like, let's kick that thing to the curb. We just do this. And it was really nice to actually learn these skills, like with someone just sort of looking over my shoulder and guiding me. And also the funny thing is, of course, that most of the comments I got were, you're great. Like it apparently it all comes natural, but you don't always know that. And if somebody's looking over your shoulder, who knows what he's doing, has been doing it for years, that's very comforting. So that was for me. And you have to sip. I have to take a sip because my throat is killing me. So for me, that was a really, really good thing. And that's only the first thing on my list. So this is going to be a long video. I'm so sorry. But I do invite you all to do the same exercise for yourself. Like, don't end this year without thinking, like, even if it's been brutal for you, or especially if it's been brutal for you, what did that bring you? Like, what did that, like, what has this year offered to you? Like, what did you get from it? Like, I got so much. It was so worth it. Okay, so another thing I have on my list, I've connected to like wonderful people, like really people that are like on my wavelength, and I have some really great projects coming up in the next year. One of them is one of the people I met wants to start doing a podcast with me, which is like 2018 for me was about visibility, but putting my voice and also my face out there. So this is also a thing for me. Like I should be celebrating that I'm doing this every week, and I've been doing it since the day I started. And I never thought I would keep up with it, but I am. I'm doing it, and I hear I get great responses of it. So apparently, in my rambling, I'm saying some stuff that's resonating with people. So that's good. So there's this person out there. Not a random person, like I know really well, but she wants to do a podcast with me, and that's just great because, as you know, I like talking. So that's all kind of that's gotta be great. But it's also has me. So this is you're like, oh, this is just one big celebration because somebody wants to do that with me. But it's also you have to know that working together with someone, and I just I'm sure you know, like I work a lot with Sheen and Mary. Like we do the My Voice, My Story series, and we also write romance together. And we were just talking about this earlier this evening. Because I have this sort of belief that I'm a horrible person to work with because I'm not a perfectionist. Like I'm not unrealistic about what I want, but I know very well what I want, and I know what. I know what. I know when I'm not happy, and I also know I need to speak up when I'm not happy. But if you catch me in the wrong moment, I can be a little bitchy about it. So we were just talking. We were just talking about that. Why I feel that I'm such a horrible person to work with, because I'm actually thinking that this is one of my obstacles. Like I've been pushing people away, afraid that I'll ruin a friendship or something, because I'm so convinced that you don't want to work with me. So as the person who wants to do the podcast with me will tell you, I've kept telling her, you don't want to do this with me. You don't want to do this with me. You're going to regret this. And she's like, nah, let's just try this. So I've been working on that as well. Like, why do people want to work with me so badly? Because I'm convinced that that's just not who I am. So just saying to people, yes, let's collaborate on this, that is completely out of my comfort zone. I really like doing things by myself because I don't trust myself and that I'm nice through the process, because I'm very focused, very to the point. I have great overview. So I see the bigger picture. So when people are not seeing the bigger picture, I can become really impatient, and it's not pretty. But yeah, apparently what I've been hearing is that it's worth it, that it doesn't, that it's sort of, it is canceled out by how great it is to work with me. So I'm also trying to embrace that. So that's the thing I'll be working on more in 2019, but that's also something that's completely out of my comfort zone, but I am still doing it because I realize that I'm keeping myself back by just being on my own and not making these alliances, which can like very promising alliances with other people in the field. So that's the thing. What I'm doing, so collaborating for me is a scary thing, but I'm doing it. Another thing, and of course, like I'm really excited about the podcast, and I cannot wait to tell you more about that. Okay, so another thing, I've become much more vocal about the coaching part of my business. Like I've always been a writing coach, but it was always a thing that I put at the back. Like when I said, like, so what do you do? It was always the thing that came in the end. One of the reasons is because like, you know, I have imposter syndrome, but when it comes to coaching, it's the worst. Like that just makes me feel like such an imposter, because who am I to tell other people how to live their lives, as if like I'm not the most I've got it pretty together now. Like this year has been really helpful, but who am I? I was just talking about this earlier with my former PhD supervisor and my university, like the director of the program that I'm teaching in, and she was like, "Well, you like you're the good coach, like you're a great coach because you've been through this. Like you've been through all this, you figured it out by yourself, so you know what works, you know what doesn't work, and of course." That is valuable, that I worked through all that. So that is the experience that I have. That is what I have to offer. So it was really fun because she's from academia, and that's not what I'm coaching. Like I coach fiction, mostly fiction writers and nonfiction, but mostly fiction writers. And she was just like, yeah, but you know all this. Like this is your thing. Like she was convinced, and I was like, this is nice to see somebody in a different field, also just you've got this. Like I cannot believe you don't know that you've got this. But this is of course what imposter syndrome does. So this was really this is really good because the moment I became more vocal about being also coaching, like also being a writing coach, like it immediately picked up. And which was completely unexpected. Because of course in the back of my head, like nobody wants to talk to you. Like what do you have to say? And I've been getting like crazy reviews, and for people who follow my page, they know that last Friday, was it last Friday? Yes, it was last Friday. I woke up to an email from one of my clients, and she already put a review on my Facebook. So that's great. Like I mean, these things are gold. So she did her part, so to say. Like I always ask. I don't expect anyone to leave a review, but I always ask because I have to. But she sent me this email like, I want to thank you again, and here is this YouTube video that I did in which I talk about our work together. And I just like, imagine me, it was 6:15. What I do is I wake up, like I get out of bed, I grab my phone, like I put the kettle on, and I just scroll through my messages. That's just what I did. And I just saw the email, and I was like, YouTube link, and I opened it, and it was like a 9-minute video. So I just stood there, just like barely awake. And when I realized what she was talking about, I just started crying. Like I was so happy and I was so touched. And I'm still like, when I think about it, I'm like, because in that particular moment, I was like, fuck you, imposter syndrome. This is exactly like, this is the purpose. Like for me, this is my purpose. Like this is what I need to do. And 2018 brought me that because it brought me so much shit that I had to go through, and it made me figure out what I want to do in my life, what I'm really good at. So that was for me was a big thing. And of course, I've also started I've also launched my writing program, my 3-month writing program. Also really fun. And I've already had people ask me when the next time is, and I'm thinking. But that's the thing, like I have this date in my head and I don't know which day of the week it is. So, but I'm thinking 1st of April-ish. That's what I'm thinking. And you might say that's in months. Yes, but that's because in between, basically when this the program I'm currently running, when it ends, I pack my bags and I leave for Cyprus. So I'm not going to put a program immediately after. I'm just going to take a little break there so I can find an apartment. And of course, I'll have other stuff to do. Like I'll have jobs to do. So I wanted to take a little break there. So around the 1st of April, I will do my writing program again. And already like I'm having so much fun with it. I'm learning so much myself. It's really good. It's really, really good. So yes, I will be doing that again as well. So I cannot wait to hear, like, to get to the end of it and get the feedback. But yeah, it's been a really fun process for me as well. Okay, so that's about the coaching and me finding my purpose. I think it's for a lot of people that 2018 was about finding that, like, understanding, or maybe you haven't found the answer yet, but I think for a lot of people 2018 has been about getting to the point where you're like, what I'm doing right now, it's not really working for me, but I have to. So I think 2018 for a lot of people has been the year they really started digging. Like suddenly, I think it felt as though there was a deadline. Like I have to do this now, and I think that's what made it so hectic and brutal and scary. Is because in the digging you dig up a lot of dirt. But if you take the patience and the self-love to dig through the dirt, that's when the magic happens. And like when I'm coaching someone, that feels like magic to me. Like. That's just Anyway, so that's that's what I think. That's what I'm on this planet for, this life. Okay, so another thing that was really interesting for me, because of course, imposter syndrome. I never thought I could live off my business, so that's why I always had a job next to it. So I've been teaching next to it, and of course, the coming year the teaching will end, and there will be nothing except for my own business, and that's very scary. But and I've been doing this throughout the year, like seeing how many new clients I had over the year. And I just did it again. And what I saw is that in this year, so 2018, I've had more new clients, over twice as much new client, twice as many. I'm sorry, it's late. Over twice as many new clients that I had in clients in total in 2017. Think about that. So over twice as many clients as I had in 2015. It's really like also another point. I need more sleep. I'm too busy. 2017. So that's another thing. I'm so convinced that I cannot do this by myself. That I always need like something else to support me. But look at how my client list is growing. That's very promising. And it's a little scary. Like I almost feel like I'm gonna jinx it. But yeah, it feels very promising. So that's the thing. And of course, one of the reasons that it's growing is because I've become more visible. I've become more vocal. Like as I said, like my coaching clients often tell me, yeah, I heard this interview you did, or I saw your Facebook Live, and I was like, yeah, I think I need to talk to you. So it's helping, apparently. So that's good. There's also validation for doing it this way. But that just keeps shocking me. It's like, why didn't that happen before? Well, because I was in my own way so much. Like in the last few years, it's so clear to me now, I was in my way completely, and I finally stopped being. I'm still in my way in some ways, but I've overcome a lot of it. Another thing, of course, and I've been shouting about that for forever. Me and Sheena Mary, we did our first anthology in the My Voice, My Story series, and it came out in September. And today, in the mail, dun 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 dun, there she is. That is my name and her name on the cover. The paperback is out. Okay. Speaking about collaboration and me being a bitch, I'm not happy about how the cover is cut. So I asked Sheena to contact our brilliant cover designer, Emily Thomas, to fix it. So if you haven't bought it yet, just wait for a few days, okay? See, that's me. I'm not being a perfectionist. Oh, yeah, but so I have some comments about the outside. But this is the book, and I love the inside. I just love it. I cannot believe I'm in print. I mean, it's like I accepted my own story. That's it's there. That is me. And of course, I wrote the introduction. But this is awesome. This is just awesome. And this is the back. Of course, now we have a back, and we didn't have that. So yeah, this is one of the things that I'm like, so worth it. Like I have an amazing life, did you know? But this is also 2018. I took the jump. I didn't think I could do this. Look at us. Here we are. Big book. And of course, we got this in print because we were invited for the Bisexual Book Awards, which we submitted to. And now I'm hoping we can get the cover fixed ASAP, so we still have to send a copy to the director. So yeah, so this is the thing. So this got in the mail today, and I'm just really happy that we did this, even though, see, I'm horrible to work with. I'm like, the cover, don't buy it. Don't buy it yet. Wait for a week. Another thing I have on my list, which is really funny, I'm telling people no, and that is true. Like, I've been so busy, I have to tell clients no, and that is something I I should have done that sooner because that's my last thing. I got a virtual assistant. Because and I struggled there because I always thinking if you got an assistant, that means you're for real, you're professional. And of course my imposter syndrome came in and told me, you're nothing, who do you think you are? But yeah, I got the assistant, and she told me that I needed to work like with Google Calendar and put my stuff in the calendar. So I did that, and then I realized that I was completely overbooked until February, and that I'm working 7 days a week until my contract ends. So if you see the tired eyes, yes. So she's been really good about that, saying, no, you need to change some things around here. So the telling people no and the virtual assistant thing that goes together. I cannot, like, I tend to say yes, I'll fit that in somewhere, but I'm also working nights a lot, so yeah, I really need to be a little nicer to myself. So that's 2019 for me, like, be nice, have a break sometimes. Okay. As I said, this is going to be a very long video, but I do invite you to do this same exercise and just look at the year and see what you've done. See where you took the jump. And if you stumble, that's okay. Like, I've stumbled. I feel that I stumbled through this entire year, and look what I achieved. I'm so excited. But also, I used to go like, this was such a good year. Next year has to suck because it needs to be balanced. I'm over that. Like, I'm like 2019, bring it on. I cannot wait. Also because I know that I can handle the bad shit. I'm very resilient. If I've learned one thing over the past 2-3 years, is I'm extremely resilient. So you can come at me, and I'll make the situation work for me. That's really what I learned this year. So I'm going to leave you to it. Please do this. Please have this exercise with yourself. Look at the things you did in 2018. See what it brought you. You will not be disappointed. And if you are disappointed, then you know what you have to do in 2019. Like, if you didn't do the jumps, but you wanted to do them, take that lesson as well, and prepare to jump, to take that leap. Final thing, and I know is gonna watch this until the end, so I'm all safe. Last thing about the comfort zone: tomorrow I'm getting my first tattoo. I know. So I'm very scared. Also very exciting, but also very scared. And I'll show you the result. So that's well, the month is still youngish, still 3 weeks. So who knows what leaps I'm gonna take in the next 3 weeks. But yeah, tattoo first thing in the morning. Okay. Have a good night. I need to write. Have a good night. Don't buy the book yet, but bookmark it for like next week when we got when I say we, I mean I delegate this to Sheena because she's the visual person, or not the visual, she's the formatting person, and she delegates it to the visual person. Have a good night. Almost half an hour. I cannot believe it. Okay. Apparently I've done a lot of good stuff this year. I hope the same goes for you. Okay. Bye bye.